welcome to our Lights On podcast. It has been a minute. I was supposed to come back early this year, but 2025 had different plans, and I ended up going through a huge death and rebirth process where I felt really called to review how I show up online, how I want to serve, and that included putting a pause or pausing the podcast for longer just to make sure that, how I communicate with you guys and the type of information, the type of content that I bring you is as aligned and as authentic as possible. I'm back, however, which is really exciting. The Lights On podcast is changing slightly. The themes will still very much center around healing, spirituality, some philosophy here and there, but we have a new intention, and that is to help you break free from what keeps you small and limited, which I think was already a thread weaving through past podcast episodes, but we're just going to make it a lot clearer moving forward. Also, I am now posting from my Substack, so if you'd like to subscribe, please join me at Healing with Katarina. On there, I write, I post videos, and the episodes will also be uploaded through there. And if you'd like to get notified when an episode comes out, then please subscribe and join me over there. I'm loving that platform so much, and I would love to have you there. We're kind of building a community of people healing. So if that's you, then come join us. All right, so today I bring you a personal story, a very personal one at that. Maybe something that is familiar to you if you've ever chased a dream so hard that you forgot to live. So imagine that we're sitting across from each other, just talking, sharing the moments we've struggled, doubted ourselves, and the moment that we have decided to let go. That is essentially the conversation that we're having today here. Ever since I can remember, I knew that I was meant to do something big. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to leave a lasting impact. I wanted the numbers, the visibility, the recognition. I was ambitious and I was not shy about it. I wanted to make it, quote unquote, make it, and feel successful, be successful. But what I struggled with was that no matter how much I worked, and no matter how much potential I knew I had inside, the life around me didn't really reflect it. And that hurt, but hurt deeply. And I'm not sure if this is a kind of pain that you've experienced before, but if you have, then you know how visceral and profound and deep it is. So my dream was to become was to become a celebrated spiritual guide. And for that, I worked and worked and worked. I hustled to reach more people, gain followers, expand my visibility, and finally hit that 6-figure business mark, because to me, that was success. That was the true sign of success. As a business owner, hit that 6-figure business, have a community, a network of people that buy from you and love you. The thing is, I came to a point after experiencing so much failure that I realized something. I was so obsessed with chasing my dream, with making this vision of success a reality that I completely stopped living. Truth is, I wasn't really grounding what I was doing in authenticity or alignment. I was just forcing things, draining myself. I was exhausted. And worse yet, I was stuck in loops of negativity that made me feel like I would never be enough. And for 5 years, I kept at it until I reached a breaking point. This was this year, the breaking point. And this year, I gave up. In a way, I gave up. I gave up working myself down to the bone for a future that kept me from enjoying the present. I gave up dwelling in frustration, feeling like a failure, stuck in victim mentality because I didn't reach a certain number of people or had a certain amount of followers or X figures in my bank account. I gave up obsessing over unfollows, over people who didn't show up or didn't sign up for events. And maybe you're thinking, oh, that's just because nothing worked for you. That's why you needed to find a new way of living. And to that, I say yes, but then maybe that's the point. The point is that new way of living, because if I'm constantly fighting towards something that is not bringing me any joy, no matter how much I still see how much I still see myself as that celebrated spiritual guide, if what I'm doing right now is not bringing me any joy and I feel frustrated, then is there really a point of chasing after this quote unquote dream? Of chasing after this definition of success that, by the way, came from someone, or rather came from mainstream society, because I don't think I necessarily gave that definition to me, and I was very much influenced by the environment I grew up in. So, in giving up my dream, I instead started to live in the present. Instead of worrying about people that weren't signing up, I started noticing and celebrating the ones who did, the ones who were joining. I started cultivating a lot more gratitude about what I have instead of being purely focused on what I didn't have yet. I started to focus on my day-to-day, how fortunate I am that I can have my slow mornings and have a business that allows me to do what I love to do. Because this is success to me now. Success is me being able to wake up in the morning and do what I love to do. And this is when I realized that I didn't need to chase my dream anymore to feel alive. And I feel like we're collectively just so stuck on that definition of purpose. And I'm very much guilty of that too. Chasing for purpose, chasing for meaning, chasing for that something big, chasing for that something more. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because we learn so much. And this is what I've learned. That I didn't need to chase after anything. I just had to learn how to feel safe, happy, content in the moment. Living in the moment. Going with the flow. Living with your heart wide open and rejoicing because you're alive, you're abundant, and you're provided for. No matter what you do or how quote unquote big or quote unquote successful you are. And let me tell you something. This is true freedom. If you've ever wanted to live with ease, effortless ease, this is it. And it's life-changing. Giving up. Not the vision necessarily, but how you think you need to get there. And how much you need to work to get that. And this idea that you'll only be happy when you get it, or life will only be worth it when you get it. This freedom is available to you too. You don't have to push, force, or chase endlessly. Give up the struggle. Enjoy life as it is. This is the first step towards truly living. Hi, my name is Katarina. I'm your host, and I wanted to share this with you because I really want you to be free. We are prisoners of our minds, of our thoughts, of society. But there are ways in which we can break free. Things that I'll be exploring through this podcast as we go along and as I uncover them myself. If you're ready to release self-limiting beliefs, if you're ready to change your life by writing your story like I did or like I have been doing this year, then I would love to give you a free guided meditation. I will guide you into your Akashic records and help you shift the language that you use when you talk about yourself and the narrative that you keep repeating to yourself that keeps you stuck and frustrated. So if you'd like to get that meditation, comment dream, subscribe to my Substack, and I'll send it to you. I'll find a way. Take this as a gentle invitation, a small act of courage to start living more aligned with more ease and more joy. Because you deserve it. And I am cheering for you. Thank you for sitting with me today and listening. I hope that you give yourself permission to give up the struggle. And that you remember that you don't have to chase someone else's version of success. Your life, your joy, your presence is enough. I can't wait to connect with you soon. Take care, and I will see you very, very shortly for another episode. In the meantime, be gentle with yourself. Love ya. Bye.